So we left the MTC and we did a lot of traveling that morning, and we flew into Hawaii, and it was kind of super surreal. All of us were like, we're actually here. When we got off the plane and walked out of the airport, because there's like this outdoor hallway, and just the doors opened and it was like boom, like humidity, and we're all like, oh man, because we've been in the plane for like 6 hours with this like nice fresh cool air, and then we're like, whoa, this is Hawaii. And there's like palm trees everywhere, and I'm pretty sure my face was like like the whole time. And I pretty much the whole first day I walked around like, oh my goodness, like no way. Just like super, super wide-eyed. And we went to the mission home. So they drove us back. Our mission president, he drove us by like the edge, and we got to see the ocean, and we're all like, this is so cool. And then we went back to his home and had some food, just got to have some training and things like that. The president gave us some trainings, and then he gave us our little, they call it the Christmas come early envelope, and basically it says where you're going to be serving, who's going to be your trainer, things like that. So we all just went around one by one and opened our little Christmas letters, and it was crazy because we don't know how to pronounce any of these Hawaiian words, so we're just like totally all over the place, but we were just excited. And then the APs would show us on the map which island we'd be going to, where we would be, kind of a little bit what it was like and what our trainer would be like. So then the next morning we got to go to the transfer meeting. So we came into the Tabernacle in Honolulu, and there's a lot of people there, a lot of missionaries, and it was kind of crazy. I remember being totally shocked at like how it was like a party in there, and I was thinking like missionaries like just like super calm and everything, but everyone was like super excited and like cheering, and I was like, what is going on? I was like totally freaked out. I was like, this is not what we signed up for. Like, I'm sure this is not what we signed up for. And I was just like looking around at people like, can you do that? Like, why are they all like screaming and cheering? And they were just like super excited to all like be together and to see everyone. And there's new missionaries coming in and some missionaries leaving. And so they're all excited, and I was just like petrified. And we were all like looking around like, who's going to be our trainer? And I was like holding on to my MTC companion. We were both just like, this is so scary. And then they called us up, and as soon as I saw my trainer though, I was just like, oh, like I just felt so good about it. And she gave me a big hug, and I was just like, this is going to be good. And we all got in our zones. And after the transfer meeting, we went back to our houses, and I remember just like, it kind of hit me. I hadn't really thought about this before, but we'd been with missionaries in the MTC like for these past like week or two, and then we're all with missionaries there when we arrived. And then all of a sudden, it was just my trainer and I, and we're like driving, and I was just like, this is so weird. And we just like drove back, and she's like, this is our house. And I was just like, this is crazy. And it's just like the two of us, and I was like, the two of us are gonna be like adults, and we're just gonna go out and do missionary work. And it was crazy, but we just jumped right into it. My trainer took me out. We went tracting a lot that first week, and it was just really great. We went to our first dinner appointment that night, and I was like, we're the missionaries, like, because usually we're the people who are feeding the missionaries at dinner, and it was just so weird. But I loved it, and I just felt like it was all going to be okay. I had a great trainer, and I just felt like as long as I was doing my best and like trying to pick up on these things and learn these things, that Heavenly Father was going to help me to be capable and be able to do the work. I don't know, I feel like as far as like getting on with companions, that it wasn't like a struggle or change, because I've always been with my sister. Like, she and I are close in age, and we've always like shared a room growing up, and so for me being with a companion, it just kind of felt like normal and kind of at home. But I guess maybe more the struggle or the challenges maybe came from, I don't know, the weather. I was like, this is so hot. We're like walking around like tracting, and I was like, it's really hot here. And I don't know, most people are really pretty nice though too. So I feel like that first week or so, I really wasn't like shocked by anyone like being mean or rejecting us. I feel like it was kind of like a pretty smooth transition, and like we met a lot of nice people that first week, and it wasn't too difficult. But then like I remember that a time did come eventually where it was kind of like the first time that someone like kind of rejected the message that we were sharing, and I was just kind of like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, it was just hard, and I felt I like took it super personally, but it was okay because my trainer just like gives me a hug, and like we just, I don't know, Heavenly Father helps us to just feel peace and be like, it's okay. And then the next door was just a nice person, and it goes on. So it wasn't too much of a struggle. I didn't feel like I was like smacked in the face with this big like shock, but there are struggles along the way, but there's just so much good, and there's so many good people there. I think a new missionary has to be humble. That's probably like the number one thing, because if we go in thinking like, I got this, I'll be fine, then like good luck having that on your own. But if we're humble and we say like, okay, I need Heavenly Father's help if I'm going to do any good for his children, if I'm going to like see the miracles I want to see, then it will be fine, and he will bless us with that help, and he will help us to work with our companions, and he will bless us with the Spirit. And so I think humility is going to be like one of the biggest things, like coming in, just being teachable and being like, I'm ready to learn, because there's so much to learn. To be teachable is to see things outside of just your own perspective and view, because maybe I think like, oh, this would be a great way to teach this lesson, or this is how I taught it in the MTC, but I learned so many different ways to teach a lesson from my trainer. And even if you think to yourself like, oh, this is a great thing to do as a missionary, maybe Heavenly Father's like, that's a great thing, but I want you to do this today. And so just really being willing to take suggestions or different perspectives from other people, and from Heavenly Father especially, because he knows what's going to be best.